For more on the state of travel, we are joined by Sun Country Airlines CEO Jude Bricker. Jude, great to have you back on the show. What are you seeing this holiday week?
Hi, thanks for having me. We're going to have record days, particularly on Sunday, which is typically the busiest travel day of the year for us. We're going to be up 9% versus pre-COVID levels in 2019. Weather around the country is cooperating for flying, so it looks really good. Thus far, it's been a great operational weekend.
So when you say 9%, that's 9% growth in passenger volume. So you're seeing more people get on planes right now? How does the price of those seats compare?
We're up about 40% versus 19 levels.
Okay.
It's a lot more expensive to fly. Keep in mind, fuel's a lot more expensive, but the main issue we're having, like supply chains everywhere, is we just have fewer seats as an industry in the market. Sun Country's a little bit of an exception. We're in growth mode. Most of the low-cost guys are growing, but the network carriers haven't been able to bring back capacity to the levels that we had seen pre-COVID.
Yeah, and certainly you've announced, I think, recently that you're going to be adding more routes starting, summer of next year. In light of that, given the fact that you are a low-cost carrier, in the midst of inflation, in the midst of higher prices, the fact that people do want to get out and travel, has that actually meant more demand for the product you have on the market, perhaps even more so than the industry growth levels that we're seeing?
Sure. We've definitely seen a catch-up in travel that had been sidelined through the COVID pandemic. So it's real strong demand over the summer. That demand hasn't let up. We're selling today through Labor Day of 2023, and all my advanced bookings look to show the same kind of demand that we saw last summer. So the demand environment for airlines is holding up really well. We're continuing to try to balance operational results with fares. So I'd like to see fares come down. I do that by adding more seats, but I have to balance out how much capacity I can add without taking operational risk. I think we're striking a pretty good balance as Sun Country, and it looks like most of the industry is going to have a great weekend as well, based on the results I've seen the first couple of days. But Sunday's the test. Sunday's the hardest day for airlines in the calendar.
You know, those who follow the industry over many cycles, Jude, we're waiting for that moment where players start adding capacity, getting into new markets, trying to take some share. There's been remarkable discipline. I wonder if you've been surprised and whether or not labor is sort of putting a ceiling on that dynamic.
Yeah, I think you hit on it on the latter point about labor. You know, it takes a long time to bring a pilot up, in particular for the network carriers with multiple fleet types. To make a captain in their largest airplane, they have to train a lot of people up and down all the left and right seats across their fleet. And I think it's just taking a long time for airlines to bring back staffing to what it was. The actual pilot count is about what it was. We're employing the same number of pilots roughly to pre-COVID levels. It's just a lot of training to be done and a lot of positioning. And then, we got a black eye as an industry in the spring as we were trying to recover into the post-pandemic environment. And we don't want to go through those operational challenges again. So it's a balance. And I think you're going to see slow growth from the airlines probably until late summer next year.
So next year, not some growth, but not an enormous amount then?
Exactly. I think that demand will exceed capacity really through next summer, at least. So fares will be high.
Jude, finally, besides the passenger business, you do have a cargo business. What are you seeing right now as we are sitting here on Black Friday talking about the state of the consumer, but also what it means for retail and spending?
Yeah, so this is our peak period going into cargo right after Thanksgiving. We'll fly as much as we can in cargo right up through Christmas holidays. And it looks really, really good. So, our partner is Amazon. We do all of our cargo flying for them. And we're as busy as we've always been in this time of year. All
right. Well, Jude, we appreciate you joining us today. Jude Bricker, Sun Country Airlines CEO.